Charlie Cherian, who goes by the name Charlie Frost, is not what you might think of as a devout Catholic. He's one of India's best-known hip-hop dancers. He was featured on India's national dance reality show, viewed by nearly 500 million viewers, called Dance Plus. He is a model, a dance instructor, choreographer. He's been in the industry for a decade. But he was ready and willing to give it all up to witness to the truth of Christ and his church. He was canceled for a private Instagram post. He was fired from a prestigious teaching post at one of the top schools in the country for daring to voice his pro-life and pro-family beliefs. Stay tuned to meet Charlie Frost. Charlie, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Let's begin as we always do with the sign of the cross. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Charlie, it's great to speak with you from Delhi, India. And you've shown us with this that cancel culture is there as well. I'm going to get you to start off with to read us the tweet which caused the stir, which caused you to lose your job. So why don't you go ahead? This was not so much a tweet, actually, it was an Instagram post. And when was it sent out?
This was last year in the month of August. So yeah, that's when I posted this on Instagram. And
awesome. If you could read it out for us, that would be great.
Jesus is king. That was in red rubrics. Abortion is murder. BLM is a terrorist organization. Marriages between one man and one woman. There are only two genders. These were the things that I posted. And of course, below I wrote it, I had Greta Thunberg to do the "How dare you" over there. So
exactly. So, I mean, absolutely normal thoughts for a Catholic, normal statements for a Catholic, and yet you were fired from your job. Tell us a little bit about that. How did that come about with them letting you go from your job?
I could see certain things which were happening inside the school, right? And this was a private school, not a convent school, not a Catholic school. And I never spoke out anything as such over there, but then this was my own personal, platform, if you want to say. And one fine day, I posted this, and after 2 days of posting it, some children from the school, they started posting their comments on the thread. And then the very next day, I was fired. It's just like that. They were like, we can't have this kind of hatred inside the school. And the school is pretty big, and it's a very, all the top elite over there in that school. And I had been working over there for 6 years, actually.
Unbelievable. It was a very prestigious school. Did they give you an opportunity to speak to them and tell them about, your motivation for doing this? Because they're saying it's hate. Were you given an opportunity to speak to them about it?
Kind of, yes, in the sense only that just say what you want and we are letting you go. That's it. I mean, you just write down your resignation and that's it. We don't want to hear. I mean, it's not as if they wanted to hear out my position, my side. I did try to tell them this is my personal platform and this is what I feel. I strongly feel about my faith. It's not as if I'm going to their place or any of those things. I don't think so. Anybody should be having any problem with me posting things about my faith on my platform.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're one of the most popular hip hop dancers in all India. You were very well respected there previous to this. So this was specifically an attack on your faith. What is your response? Because I think a lot of people might be interested. They've accused you of hate for saying these things, which are just normal Catholic beliefs, of course. But how do you respond to people who accuse you of hatred for saying these kinds of things?
Well, I think people don't know what is love. You know, and love is. I mean, for me, Jesus is love, and what He did for us to stand for the truth and to die for the truth. If you love someone, you would want the best for them, and that's all I wanted to do. Because there were many kids who used to come to me and talk to me about their personal lives as well, and I used to be, uh, you know, I was not very good in whatever I was doing. I mean, in sense of counseling them, of course, but then I used to tell them that there are certain things that you need to be away from, especially the use of pornography and all of these. I used to be very open. I mean, if anyone comes to me, wants to talk to me, I would be very open to talk to them. I used to be this, I don't know, this school teacher over there, probably. So yeah, I mean, when this came out that he has a lot of hate against this community. Actually, I have a lot of love for these people. I've seen the brokenness over there, and because in the whole dance community, I've seen the brokenness. I wanted to show what love is, so that's why I posted this. It was actually out of love.
You've done a very courageous thing. A lot of people would be perhaps very upset and not want to do this and be very taken aback and depressed or whatever. What was your reaction to being booted out of this very prestigious school? It obviously came with a salary and support for yourself. And how did you feel afterward, and what was your reaction?
I was actually ready for it way before even this happened. I used to be posting about abortion a lot on my Instagram and on my social media. I used to be very vocal about it. I used to, I used to teach in colleges as well, and I used to be very openly talking about these things because these issues need to be talked about. Nothing happened in a vacuum. People already knew that. Okay, we need to get this guy. Many of the people already knew about this, so it was not as if it happened within a night, but yeah, it was. I could see it was coming to me, and I was actually ready for it because Christ has promised us that you will be persecuted for standing with me. So I was ready. I was actually, it was my honor, if I may say.
That's great. Well, let's hear a little bit about you. Charlie Cherian, you go by the name Charlie Faust, and it's super popularity that you have there on in India, and yet you're willing to give up very prestigious things for the love of Christ, to spread His truth in imitation of Him. Where did you get to this courage from, this willingness to lay it all on the line for Christ?
It's not from me, of course. It's the grace of God. I would definitely say that it's not me. I'm just, I'm just a pen in His hand. But yeah, what I saw was, as Saint Paul says in Philippians 3:8, for the knowledge in front of the knowledge of God, everything else is like pure dung. So that's what I take it as. The fame, the name, whatever you want to call it. Christ is not going to ask us, okay, show me how many followers do you have, how many fans do you have. That's not what we're going to ask. Be asked about how much faithful we were to Him. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me that okay, Jesus is the truth, and He is going to judge me according to what I do in this life and in my flesh. So I better stand with the truth, and out of love, I need to share this love for others, especially to my students and my friends in the dance community, outside the dance community, in my house, in my neighborhood, anywhere, in my school, wherever I work. So yeah.
Absolutely. Were you always faithful, or did you come to faith?
No, I was a cradle Catholic, yes, but I stepped away from the faith a long time back. Actually, once I got out of school, I did my schooling from a convent school, but then very, very poorly catechized. I wouldn't say poorly. I was actually bankrupt when I got to know what I did not get. So that was another thing that I had actually kind of I don't know, I won't say anger. Yeah, maybe I was angry kind of, because I was like, oh, why wasn't I told about this? Why wasn't I taught about this? My parents trusted me, school that I was sent to get a Catholic education, but I clearly did not. And once I got out of school, I was kind of stepping away from my faith because I was more into like, I want to dance more, I want to get into production, I want to do all of these things, and I was kind of, I was growing very fast actually, and that comes with a lot of fame and friends and all of those things, and I was just walking away from the faith, but then yeah, eventually it 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 made me a lot, how do you say, numb. I was feeling very empty inside, and I could it was like I have everything around me, but then I still don't have anything. So from there, I could definitely say that many people used to pray for me, especially my mother. So and all, there were many other people, right, praying for me. And yeah, I mean, one fine day I was like, I can't do this anymore, and I need a break out of this. And eventually, I don't know how, I don't have a particular date of it. This day I came back to the faith. That was it was not like that. It was a gradual progress back into the faith, and but then once you get to see the truth, and you can't unsee it, right? I mean, it's right in front of you. Otherwise, you would, yeah. So yeah, that's what happened. So from there, I just said that I'm going to dedicate my life into this. I'm going to put my heart and soul into knowing the faith, get back into the faith, and not just know, but also spread the faith to others. Especially, even my sister went away from the faith, But eventually, when she saw me, and I used to try to talk to her, and because I used to be scared about the fact that, oh, she's my sister, and I what happens in the end of her life, it bothers me also. So I used to try to talk to her about this, but eventually, yeah, things worked out, and even she came back to the faith, and even she's a devout Catholic, I could say now.
There's a huge amount of young people who are affected because they're into hip hop and dance and everything else. Are you still able to reach them? And what has been, some of the reaction that you've seen from your fans?
I had a lot of contacts, as in the sense that people used to know me around, at least in the dance circle. And then once this happened to me, and once I became very vocal about it, about my faith, I could see many people resenting me, and going against or whatever. And I was okay with it. I could say, probably if I was in their place, probably I would have done the same thing. But I could see even some of my close, well-known friends, they were kind of avoiding me, and but then still I was like, I wanted to still share my story, and share Christ through my story. How he touched me, how he could heal me, and he's still healing me. And I wanted that to be felt by everyone. Like he does change you. So yeah, right now I might be teaching dance, but I want to make sure that some way or the other, I would like to be the light to them, which Christ asked us to, all of us, to do. So dancing is just basically just moving to the rhythm, right? That's all dancing is. But yeah, I mean, probably I could. I don't know. I just before my class, after my classes, I pray. I just consecrate everything to Our Lady. I say, I consecrate everything to your Immaculate Heart. Let God's will be done and everything. So yeah, that's how I take my classes now. I'm trying to reach out as much as possible to the young people around here, because the hip hop scene, it's kind of different, right? How when I started off it, it's not the same thing. It's just changing every day. And now what we see is, I mean, I don't know, garbage is the word that comes into my mind, because the filth, it's just too much. It's just, and even the people who started off with the hip hop scene in India, or even outside, people I might talk to, they just say that this is not the same thing that we started off with. This is just gone somewhere else. It's not about dancing, or having a community, or trying to share your talents. It's not that anymore. It's just about drugs, sex, alcohol, all of that stuff.
Let me ask you about the church in India. How are things going with the faith in India? Because we're very remote right now. The world seems more disconnected since coronavirus and lockdowns and everything else. a lot of places have restricted the mass and ability to go to mass. How are things going in India?
It's on and off right now. We're not able to go to for Sunday masses, at least in my parish. It's not available. But yeah, we are able to go for weekend masses, weekday masses. So I go for mass every weekday, every day in the week, except for the Sunday. Thank God I'm able to attend mass through online. I mean that's what's happening right for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the scene because of the lockdowns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Regarding the things that I do, the work that I do, I'm also into casting and stuff like that. And then I recently got, not recently, actually last year itself, uh, I got a message for a casting call where I had to cast young children, young kids who are like 18, just 18, who but they should be looking 14 or 13, something like that. I said why? They said they have to be 18 because they'll be doing some nude and obscene scenes, but then they have to be looking 13 or 14. That was kind of crazy. I mean, I was like, what? So yeah, I mean, these are the things that are happening these days with the casting and with the show, the endless web series that come out. They want to show kids who are 13 and 14 it's cool to do all of these stuff, drug usage, promiscuous stuff on all of that. So that's what is coming to. So I said no to this. And yeah, I just wanted to warn everyone who are around this industry about that.
It's hard to be in the industries as a Catholic and still survive because you're asked to do these weird things and then you have to refuse. Has that had an effect on you there as well in terms of your ability to keep working in that field?
Well, I'm not that much into it, but then, yeah, because they know that I know a lot of people, right? Especially young people. I work with a lot of colleges over here. I teach them over there. So they knew that I would be knowing fresh faces, young faces. So they thought that, they could, get some people through me. So yeah.
Unbelievable. And I think actually, if you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit more about India, because while we're recording it would be great to learn again of what's going on. You mentioned that in Kerala, where as far as I understand it, all of India has about 2% Catholics, but Kerala has the largest concentration of Catholics, about I think around 30%. You suggest that in Kerala, things are the worst in terms of the promotion of the whole LGBT scene and abortion, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, absolutely. When I look at it, most of the kids are falling away from the faith, and when they fall like Satan, right? And it's actually very sad that the place that which has the highest number of Catholics over there. But well, to see any culture, what we could see is that what kind of music are they making? What's it? The dance, the art, the everything, the movies, everything. When I look at it, it's just vicious. It's just outrageous. I mean, we have advertisement with transgender propaganda. And even news anchors who are confused with gender dysphoria and all of those stuff, whatever. So they're the ones who are promoting it, and yeah, and it's run by the Communist Party over there. So no wonder.
No, that's very interesting. The Communist Party is actually in rule in that southernmost province of India, of Kerala. And yet that's where the highest concentration of Catholics were. I remember years ago, I was asked to go and speak there in 2006 and 2007. And previous to that, even Steve Jelsovac, our co-founder at LifeSite, went over to India. One of the things that he noticed right away was that all the families were really small. They always had usually one girl and one boy. And that was very puzzling. And he went to speak to the cardinal at the time, Cyril Malabar Cardinal, and, explain to him something's wrong here. And, it's true that there's a huge sort of split between Catholic life and then the culture, which is pushing against, normal Catholic life. So, only 2 children and focus on very different things other than the truths of the faith. Any parting thoughts for people who are going to see this that you'd like to share with them?
I deal with artists, right? And I'm an artist. You could be doing all of those stuff, but then anybody should be knowing Christ first, and it should be God first, and then your neighbor. And for the love of your neighbor, you need to be restricting certain things and accepting Christ. I mean, Christ is the only way. That's all I can say. That's the only thing that I could share to anyone, right? Share with anyone. You might be a dancer, you might be a singer, you might be a theater artist, you could be doing anything, but just have Christ in the center of your life, and everything will be well. I mean, you might have to face some challenges, you might be going against, I mean, counterculture, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I mean, I might have been cancelled from many positions, or in the dance community, or from schools or things like that. Honestly saying, Christ has been providing me with whatever He thinks is good for me, and at this side of the grave, everything is working for that. I mean, it's all His mercy. So that's all I have to say, and just stay close to Christ. That's all I can say.
Beautiful. Where can people get in touch with you? Where can they see your work?
I'm there on Instagram, the name Charlie Frost Charlie. Same thing on YouTube, and same thing on Facebook, and yeah, I'm there. Gmail, Google Mail.
Charlie, thank you so very much for being with us in this episode of the John Henry Weston Show.
Thank you so much for having me.
God bless you, and God bless all of you. We'll see you next time. Hi, this is John Henry Weston, the co-founder and editor-in-chief of LifeSite News. I'm coming to you today because we want to be sure that we're communicating clearly with you, our loyal followers. Things are really heating up, as I'm sure you can see. Christians, conservative truth tellers are being targeted, are being banned from social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at an alarmingly fast rate. They are attempting to suppress any narrative that does not fit that of the mainstream media. We knew this day would come. We have been warning everyone who would listen and attempting to build up alternative platforms to continue to reach you. We have established ourselves on all sorts of platforms I'm going to explain in a minute, but the most important thing to do is come direct to lifesitenews.com, because there we will always be. But we've also established ourselves on platforms like Parler and MeWe, and our videos can be found on Rumble as well. We would love to see each of you on those platforms too, as they are not censoring or suppressing the truth that we are sharing every single day. More than these alternative social media platforms, we highly encourage you to subscribe to our email newsletter. We have really built up a large list of loyal readers on our email marketing platform, and we have prepared several backup plans for, well, I want to say if, but it's really when, we are removed from our current platform as well. Additionally, I really encourage you, as I said before, to make it a regular habit to go directly to lifesitenews.com. Make it your homepage. While all of these different platforms are an excellent way to curate your news, going directly to our website means that you will never encounter any censorship or sudden loss of LifeSite News reporting. Here's the thing. We will never stop sharing the truth. We founded this organization with the mission to be the life, family, and culture source for men and women who seek to know the truth. We have established a track record of honest reports, and this will never stop, even with censorship happening around the globe. Again, I'm encouraging you to join us on Parler, MeWe, Rumble, and on our email list. You can find all the direct links in the description of this video. May God bless you and keep you, and we are so thankful that you've chosen to follow and support LifeSite News. I'm John Henry Weston, co-founder and editor-in-chief of LifeSite News.